after 2 seasons at Florida International Women's Tennis, Yasmine Kabbaj Kabbaj, I believe that's how you say that name, but I could be wrong, and I apologize in advance for butchering it potentially. With a UTR of 10.92, which is a pretty good UTR, by the way, is transferring and has signed with San Diego State Women's Tennis for the fall of 2023. And the fall is going to be coming around the corner, as we all know. Like, school starts like next month, or definitely within the next 5 weeks. You can't deny that. I mean, and she played at number 1 singles and number 2 doubles with records of 36 and 14 in singles and 36 and 16 doubles, and she has a WTA singles ranking of 660 in the world, and she won her second $15,000 title yesterday. So yeah, yikes. So what does this mean for both teams here? First of all, Florida International University, they do have 3 freshmen coming in for the class of 2023, it looks like, according to tennisrecruiting.net. And I'll go over like last year's record, and they were 18-5 a year ago, and they even beat UCLA. And of course, I know that doesn't mean anything, but you know what I'm saying. At the time, it was just a big upset. They were number 18 in the country. And I know they didn't play a lot of conference matches, but they won the Conference USA. And they won in a thrilling... they lost in the first round of the NCAA tournament on the campus of Miami, Florida, to number 18 Auburn. They lost 4-3. Yeah, that team could have easily been around the 32. I'm not sure if they would have got past Miami, Florida then. I am not sure, because, to be honest, it's hard to come back after back-to-back 4-3. After a 4-3 match you played it the day before, because, exhaustion. So, in terms of the roster, I already know they didn't add any. I don't think they added any transfers up to this point. And she was going to be a junior this year. And remember, this is the last year of COVID years, by the way. And I know this is not really a COVID thing at all. They only lose for sure 1 player. For sure 1. And that's a grad senior. And that 1 player, let me check on. She was more like a number 4 singles, yeah. So that's 1 starter gone, and probably 1, and number 1 doubles as well. That player did. So yeah, the question then is, their other senior going to come back, or did she declare to come back? I don't know. Because if they don't have her, but to be clear, the other senior, she hardly didn't play. She hardly played. So, she wouldn't be a loss even if they lose her. That's nothing. I'm sorry, that I'm just calling the way it is based on the stats. But losing your number 1 singles player hurts this team. And they were an NCAA tournament team last year, as we all know. Like I said, now San Diego State, on the other hand, didn't even make the NCAAs. And they were like 14-8, 7-3 in the conference, but they lost in a Mountain West quarterfinal to Boise State 4-3. Yeah. And that was in Las Vegas, so yeah, and now what does this mean for them? I know they have added 2 other transfers as well. One of them from Oregon and one of them from North Texas. So that does help. And now, in terms of the roster, they did have a bunch of seniors last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors. But I'm not sure how many of those are 4th year and how many of them were like 5th year. So yeah, I'm just going to double check that right now. So, yeah. Yeah, they definitely lost one of them for sure. Because one of them transferred out to Washington. And Daria Devoskovskawa. Detkovskawa. I apologize if I mispronounce that name. So, yeah. They do lose her, and she was a number 3 singles player last year. And was their number 1 singles, a senior. Nope, she was not. So, potentially that's a good solid foundation. Of course, the number 2 singles, I don't know if she's a 5th year or not, so she could come back, but you know, for sure one starter's gone. By the way, I definitely know that. Maybe up to 2. So, or yeah, now 3 because the number 4 singles player was a senior last year too. What do I see? And Sully Marion. I'm just trying to go through this. Yep. That's 4 starters potentially gone. Potentially. Now, the number 6 was not a senior. So, yeah, they could potentially lose 4 starters. But that was a team that did not even make the NCAAs. Mind you. So, that's. But San Diego State, it does have to improve their doubles. Yeah, because last year in dual matches, 22 and 25. That isn't good. I mean, 6 and 9 at the 1 spot, 9 and 9 at the 2 spot, 7 and 7 at the 3 spot. And granted, this is just in completed matches, so yeah, if they have to improve anywhere, it's starting with the doubles. It's not even saying they need to improve in some single spots as well. I mean, the number 6 last year, I mean, when you accumulation of all the numbers, 5 and 11. Yeah, I'm not kidding you about that. That's terrible. 9 and 8 at the 5 spot, not that great. 10 and 8 at the 4 spot, not that great. But they're really strong at 1 and 3 last year. I mean, 12 and 4 at 1, 13 and 4 at 3. Number 2 could be improved 10 and 6. So, yeah, now. And they do lose for sure 1 starter. It's a matter of do they lose others. In terms of recruiting, it doesn't look like San Diego State added anybody. So now that they have 3 transfers. And I'm going to have to see. Yeah, the one of them is a North Texas player that they're really going to step. Both are going to step in right away. According to the article back. I don't know when they published it, but you know, when you go to their website, that for sure they're going to help that team. It's just, my question is, for San Diego State, can you go back to the NCAA tournament? That's the deal. I mean, it's the truth. And I know they lost some matches they probably shouldn't have lost. Like a Hawaii, for example. They were not even ranked. They lost 5-2. But you beat number 40 Alabama at the time. But that was at the time, and that was 4-3. Yeah. You lost to Air Force. It didn't help your cause. And UNLV as well in Nevada. That didn't help. So yeah, you kind of put yourself in a bind with that. But when you look in terms of the past, okay, last year they made it to the NCAAs. I meant the year before in 2022. 2021, nope, they were 5-9. So really, it's more like last year they made the NCAA tournament. And the year before, in 2019, they almost got, really almost, because they lost in a conference title tournament match, but it was 4-0, so it didn't matter. They were not going to get in. 2018, they were not NCAA tournament. So basically, when you go down the line, only one NCAA tournament appearance. Can they go back to that? That's the big question to me. 2017 was like 5-18 as well. So yeah, they really have been down, as you could tell when I go over the history. And we'll have to wait and see on them. I don't know if this is those 3 additions alone, they're gonna automatically propel themselves up to NCAA tournament caliber. And he's been at the program for more than 2 decades, so the head coach at San Diego State. So yeah. As for Florida International, like I said, last year they made NCAAs. Now, can it, even with this loss, can they still go to the NCAA tournament? That's a question. And it'll be interesting to find out. And when you look at their history, and they just extended their head coach to 2028, so that really helps. In the first 3, each of the last 3 years, they had accumulated like the NCAA tournament the last 3 years, and an overall record of like her 10 years so far, 55-14. Yeah, they really have been on the rise, as you could tell with that right there. So really, we'll have to wait and see how they do this year. And anyways, if you feel like this content, like and subscribe to it. See you guys later. Find subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go. And I know this is more like a G5 to another G5, but there are solid players at G5 schools, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that situation. That's all.